Mic check, mic check. Good morning. Good morning. Last week we had some issues. I had some issues apparently with the streaming, with live streaming while trading. Not that I have a bad connection at all, but it just seemed that running two things like that caused an issue, which I didn't even know about. So I've got a couple of solutions. I'm trying one of them right now. So if today during either this stream or the live trading, I'm more concerned about the live trading on Discord. If there's any lag, can you just let me know? If my voice starts glitching, if the screen freezes up. YouTube is known to have some issues, so if it happens here, I'm not like really concerned about it. But if it happens on Discord, please let me know today, because that would let me know that my fix that I have for that issue is not working, and I can try a different solution. All right, we're going to do a review of the watch list. Good morning. Welcome in. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and some time off. The analysis that I posted yesterday from the focus list is mainly bearish. I posted the focus list. I posted all these charts. Posted a little video on Instagram. Maybe you saw it, reel on Instagram. But I was looking for the continuation sell-off on a lot of these names. Well, the problem with that going into today is that we actually have a gap up. So it's like, okay, now we're kind of confused, right? Because we can look at this a couple of different ways. Number one, this is SPY. We're on the 5-minute time frame. The first way that we could look at this, possibly look at this is a relief of the selling pressure, because we know that there's an ebb and flow in the market, right? So you have this larger sell-off, relief from the selling pressure, which when we zoom out kind of looks like a bear flag, right? And then then we open up and just sell off to continue down. So that's one scenario, is just a continuation sell-off following the gap up this morning. That, I don't know if that's the most ideal scenario here, but if we do get something like this, what we're primarily going to be looking for is a break of your previous day's closing price. All right, so that's what we're going to be looking for there. Otherwise, the other scenario here is, well, we got a gap up, but maybe the dip on the daily gets bought and is seen as a buying opportunity, because, and this would make sense too, because every single dip like this for the past, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 months, 3.5 months, every single dip has been bought. So are investors seeing this? The big question is, are investors seeing this as a dip buy opportunity? So we have to just play the price action today. You want to go into today with a really open mind, an open bias. Don't lean more bearish or more bullish on a couple of names. You can, but generally speaking, you want to be open-minded going into today and just kind of let the price action play out, and then we'll make a decision on direction and trades following the price action. Hopefully we'll just get solid follow through. So SPY's easy. This is going to be a long idea above 627. You see the gap here up to about 630. If you want to be a little aggressive on this, you can go long at 626.5. I don't have a problem with that. But I always like to give myself a little extra room for this to work. So long above 627 on SPY is going to be my level there. And then the short idea is going to be under the previous day's close at 621. Now, this is really conservative because I know that we're going to get, if we're going to get the sell-off, we're going to get confirmation that this is selling off the moment that this starts to make a lower low, which is going to be under 623 area, 623. But the problem with going short at 623 is that the PDC is just below, and that's usually going to be a point of support, potential support. So what I don't want to do is go short prior to the PDC just to see this limit us on profit margin and then reverse and run back up. So I know the short level is set kind of far away, but it is a gap up day, right? And so one way that we can try to be a little more effective and efficient with our trades is just to trade with the trend, not necessarily against it. You know, I'm notorious for that. Friday was a good example. So SPY, long above 627, short below 621. We're going to rock with that. Moving on to Amazon. Similar situation with Amazon. It has a gap overhead to be filled, gap down from the earnings report. That gap starts at 220.5. So that's exactly where I'm setting my long level. So basically just right above the prior trading day's high of day for the gap fill top side. Do I think it's going to get there? I don't know. I have no idea. I think it will depend on market direction today. Otherwise, we can look for the continuation sell-off, and like I said, very similar situation to SPY, where we're just going short right under the PDC given the gap up this morning. So 214 or 214.5 could work. Do keep in mind that if we are going short down here, we do have a prior day's low at around 213. That will be a concern for a potential point of support. But my hope is maybe this sells off through it, bounces at it, and then gives us a rally retest to go short off of 214, and then gives us another low of day right through it. So like I said, we're just going to trade the price action here, but 214 or 214.5, I think, are the best levels for Amazon going into today. Then we've got Meta. Next one on the watch list. I'm not necessarily bearish on Meta, but I did set a short level, and here's why I'm not necessarily bearish on Meta, because when this gapped up originally from the earnings report, then that day when it gapped up, so many names reversed. We've had 2 days of sell-off on the overall market. So many names on the day that Meta gapped up reversed and sold right back off. Whereas Meta, it didn't do that. Meta actually held up, and then it did sell off the following day, but it did hold up originally. So it kind of tells me, okay, well, maybe this here is just seen as a dip relief from the gap up, which was a massive gap up. And then now we're kind of on the back, on the front side of this trade again, and no longer on the back side, where this has broken the downtrend trend line, and then maybe starts to trend back up top side. So it's going to be a long idea above your pre-market high at 762. We're looking for the break of the pre-market high on Meta. Otherwise, the short idea will be at the gap at 745. Now, I don't go short under the PDC on this one because the gap area is just below, and we know that the top side of that gap can be a potential point of support, as it's also the prior day's low of day. Got it? Next one on the watch list is going to be Apple. This one I do have a bias on. I am bearish on Apple. I'm fully bearish on Apple. No long level set on Apple today. The only way that I want to take this long is up here at 216. It gapped up from the earnings report, could not sustain that gap up, and sold all the way off, almost all the way down to the $200 hold number. So I do see this entirely as a bear flag. There's nothing here on Apple that makes me want to go long on this at all. Zero, nothing. Apple, short idea under $202. We're going to look for the break of the PDC, the green to red move on the break of that PDC, and then hopefully the sell off to and possibly through that $200 hold number just below. Next one is going to be Tesla. So originally, my bias on Tesla, if I go to the daily time frame, we have this pennant pattern that's shaping up, and Tesla was dangerously close to creating a lower low. So up until this point, Tesla has a low, a higher low here, higher low, and then we're getting to the point of this pattern, right? And then now we're looking for what? Higher high or lower low. And so Tesla, with it being down here, trading at the 300 hold number and the 200 EMA, a failure to hold where it was at would be a break of the hold number, a lower low, a break of the structure, a break of the 200 EMA, a lot of bearish signals for Tesla. That's why I was originally short on this, short biased on this rather. But this morning, wouldn't you know it, Tesla has some news that comes out, positive reaction to a news catalyst where Elon Musk is being offered a package to stay at Tesla through 2027, which investors are seeing as a positive thing. You know, naturally they don't want to lose. You don't want to lose Elon Musk, arguably one of the smartest people in the world right now, because of his other ventures that he has going on with maybe like his space exploration, or now he's kind of getting into politics. So they don't want to, they say, hey, here's a package, stay at Tesla for at least 2 more years, and you know, you can get this money. And so we'll see. I mean, they're certain it's going to work. We'll see what happens, but investors are seeing that as a positive sign. So it doesn't really matter what's going on? It's a positive reaction to a news catalyst. That's it. So Tesla originally was a bearish trade idea. Now I don't want to say fully bullish because this still could sell off, but I am leaning more towards being bullish because Tesla was trading at support. You got a positive reaction to a news catalyst at a point of support. You've got a gap up this morning. So we're going to look for the higher highs above Tesla's pre-market high at $311. I did set a short level on Tesla just in case this decided to sell off, and that is going to be set at 302. Now, if we do go short on this at 302, we have to keep in mind that that $300 whole number is going to be a potential point of support, as well as the prior day's low of day is going to be a potential level of support. So we need to navigate that carefully if Tesla decides to sell off from here. I'm not so sure it's going to happen, though. And maybe if it does happen, there's a chance that this just sells off and then stagnates or sells off and then bounces. We'll have to see what's given. But right now, I'm leaning more bullish on Tesla than bearish. I've got two more for you. Hang in there. Up next is Reddit. This is one of the few names that I am bullish on, was bullish on yesterday when I did my analysis. In fact, I think I said exactly that. Hopefully, you went through and reviewed these charts. The trade idea has not changed here, but I did move the long level down some. So originally, let me see, I think I posted long above 200, right? Reddit long above 200. I wanted to move that down to 196. I do want to be aggressive on this. I know that 200 is overhead. I know that that's limiting us on potential profit margin here, but I did the math. It's percentage-wise, it's 2%. It is 2% from 196 up to 200. So it does offer us enough profit margin there. We can expect to see increased volatility from the earnings report. So long above 196 up to 200 should give us enough profits to be able to take, even if this does decide to reject and come back down. Okay. So Reddit adjusted the level from 200 on the analysis yesterday down to 196. That's going to be a break of the previous day's high of day area. That's not exact. Last one is going to be Microsoft, MSFT. I'm putting this one in the same category as Apple, where there's nothing here that I'm bullish on at all. Zero. I mean, this is a massive gap up on Microsoft and a massive sell-off 2 days back-to-back. The failure to sustain this gap up does not tell me anything here is bullish. So Microsoft gapped up, sold off about half of the earnings gap up here. Next day, sold off the majority, maybe another third of it there. And so there's still plenty of gap to be filled down below, but it's not trading right at that price point right now. So we can't set the short level right at the top side of the gap. I think I want to be aggressive on this, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, is short at 524, because the sell-off on Microsoft has been so significant the past couple of days. Bears have full control. So possibly, and this is moving off of the things that came out in the earnings report, right? So possibly, even if we get an overall market that is bullish, there's a chance that Microsoft still sells because of the two bearish days back-to-back that it's had. So it's going to be a short idea under $524. Keep in mind, again, like if we go short here at 524, keep in mind the top side of that gap is going to be a potential point of support. So if we're in a scenario where we are short on this at 524, and then we get the move down to the top of the gap, 521, and we're still in the position, and maybe we're only up like 15%, or we're up 12%, or we're up 18%, and we normally look for 20. When you see this hit that mark and it starts to stagnate, that might be a sign to just go ahead and take your profits. People ask me all the time, Gates, how do I know when to go for 20% versus when to just take profits at 15, 18, 20, 13, or anything below that? This is your answer right here. When you've got a trade that is potentially limiting on profit margin, and you are hitting the next line of support, and you're starting to see the stock momentum slow down or stagnate, or it looks like it's going to hold that support in reverse, that's when you get out of the trade and take the profits when they're offered, rather than looking for more, holding and hoping, looking for more, looking for that 20%, right? Don't be greedy. We're going to take what's given if that's the scenario. But hopefully the case is we just take this short at 524, we get the move to 521, and we still get a 20% profit off of that. We'll have to see what happens. So that's my full watch list for today. Tesla is going to be the top stock pick of the day. If you're joining in late, Don't worry, you can rewatch this stream from the very beginning. It's going to be available for you for playback after I end the stream here. We are going to be live trading today, so if you'd like to join me in the live trading and you're new to the Discord server and you don't know how to navigate it, first thing you should do is go watch the WAP course video number 1. It literally is titled How to Navigate the Discord server. But if you haven't done that yet, maybe you haven't had time, here's how you're going to get there. Scroll all the way down to the bottom left-hand side of the Discord server. You're going to see a channel called the Voice Channels, the Arena, right here. You see people already joining in. This is where we will conduct the live trading on Discord, not here on YouTube. There's a lag period, about 15 seconds on YouTube that I can't control. They naturally put it in there. That's no good for day trading. So to get real-time action and mentions and alerts and things like that, Discord is where it's going to be. Voice Channel, the Arena, bottom left-hand side of the server. Thank you so much for your time. Tesla's going to be the top stock pick of the day. And bias on the day, no bias. Let's just trade the trend. Hopefully we can get some super clean price action. That'd be very, very nice after the past couple of trading days that we've seen in the market. All right, take care. Good luck today. Let's get ready to go make some money. I'll see you over in the Arena. Hope the analysis this morning has helped. Cheers.